Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here. Welcome back to some MechWarrior 5 Clans news. Today is April 8th, 2025, and we are going to be covering elementals. Now, for those that don't know, in MechWarrior 5 base game of clans, you actually see these in some of the cutscenes, and you hear them being discussed on some of the missions. Elementals, what are they? Well, we're sort of going to get into that, but just a quick TLDR, just think of genetically bred monster humans, like the mountain, if you will. Rock your favorite faction today. NoGutsNoGalaxy.net. And they're literally genetically engineered to be bigger, stronger, and that is to power and to be into elemental armor. It's basically battle armor, for those who don't know. Very vicious against mechs, especially if they get a hold of you. And of course, devastating against unarmored infantry as well. Can literally take blast from mech weapons and still keep going. It's a little insane. Anyways, we're going to go dive in here. We have Greetings MechWarriors. With upcoming release of Ghost Bear Flashstorm, we're thrilled to finally bring a legendary unit of clan warfare to the front lines. The fearsome elementals. These towering warriors are a symbol of clan battlefield dominance, and now for the first time you'll be fighting alongside them and against them in full gameplay form. Now, some of you guys may have heard them also referred to as toads. That's right, and that is because of their hopping nature on the battlefield. And the first time the clans invaded the Inner Sphere had no idea what the heck they even were, and they look like little, frogs on the battlefield hopping across, and then they would latch on, and you'd be ripped out of your cockpit. So there's that. All right, we have a first image here of some. Looks like, again, the clan council, and of course this is Leo Showers is dead in the base game of clans. You can see two elementals here to the left and right. We have lore. Like all trueborn warriors, elementals are the byproducts of clans' eugenics program that, through select breeding and genetic engineering, routinely produces the next generation of genetically superior soldiers for the clans. And nowhere is that mastery of genetic manipulation more evident than the hulking 2 to 2.5 meter tall men and women bred to be clan shock infantry, an iconic battle armor that shares their namesake. Yes, you heard that. 2 and 2.5 meter tall human beings that are just ripped. As a staple of clan's arsenal since their debut in 1989, we had envisioned including elementals in the base game. But we are ultimately confined to the role of cinematic appearances in the Smoke Jaguar campaign. With Ghost Bear Flashstorm, that changes. The elementals are finally here, and they're lethal. Of course, here's another snapshot of them. And here we get into the design, actually, which I think is really cool. Design veteran MechWarrior artist Alex Iglesias led the concept designs for elemental battle armor and all of MechWarrior Online, Mech 5 Mercs, Mech 5 Clans. He is the guy that's updated basically the face of MechWarrior, and of course, Shimmering Sword over on Anthony Scroggins over for Catalyst Game Labs is bringing the artwork to, let's say, modern standards. His work strikes balance between iconic silhouette and functional detail, highlighting how these units move, fight, and protect the trueborn warrior inside. You can sort of see here, they're sort of iconic for having a claw, an anti-personnel machine gun. They have a laser, and then an SRM pack, jump jets, and of course the visor can open up. It looks like they're sort of talking about how the chest opens up and the warrior sort of climbs in and gets suited. It's also described in the novels as well as far as this process. And funny enough, these can be basically field manipulated to fit someone who's actually smaller. There's a novel that covers that with a Kai Allard Liao, who anyways befriends some elementals. Long story, go read the novels, it's great. Let's see, building from his concept, our 3D team created high detail models and shader variants, bringing Alex's vision to life with manufacturing precision. Material variants were developed to represent different factions, including menacing glow effect and enhanced in-game readability. Again, very, very cool, where you can sort of see, this is what's called orthographic, sort of side view here. There would be even more as well. It gives a 3D artist something to work off of, literally, quite literally. And here's the orthos here, a front, front, back, and then side view. And then they would even have a side view for the arm as well with the laser. Gameplay. Let's talk about what it's like to have a point of elementals fighting by your side or trying to tear your cockpit open. You can see here the command wheel. I figure they'll also probably have quick, just like your other ones here. F6 will be attack your target, stuff like that. And you can see here, this is the first vision we have of them in your UI, which is, again, points of elementals. Literally, that's what they're called. Points is individual units. Point can also be a mech. So you have your stars, which is 5, and then you have your individual points. This also has a full star of elementals, in this case, points. Friendly elementals, when you deploy on mission and Flash Storm, you'll bring a full point of elementals with you who knew exactly how to cause chaos. They'll automatically engage any nearby enemies. That's cool, but you can also direct them to focus on specific targets when you need to bring the pain. If an enemy mech's head armor has been stripped, nearby elementals can execute a brutal takedown that ends the fight in a spectacular fashion. And if your point gets wiped out mid-mission, don't worry, they'll redeploy after a short cooldown and jump right back into the fray. So that would be like reinforcements coming, I suspect. So we don't have a look of what that means as far as the brutal takedown, but that also goes to show go for the cockpit, and maybe you'll see some fun stuff there. So there's that. Enemy elementals, of course, you're not the only one deploying with elite infantry. Enemy elemental points will appear in early missions of the expansion. They're aggressive, mobile, and terrifyingly persistent. If one manages to leap onto your mech, it'll latch on and damage your mech. While these attacks aren't as lethal as players, the experience is intense and stark reminder of just how dangerous these units can be. And here's sort of an idea of the size when they're near a cockpit. Final notes, we're incredibly excited for players to experience the additions of elementals and Flash Storm, whether you're watching them rip through enemy mechs or fending them off on your own. They add a whole new layer of intensity to the battlefield. And of course, May 8th, and this will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. And basically ask you to wish list if you haven't done so already. So a few things here. Again, elementals are absolutely terrifying in BattleTech, specifically in the novels. What they're able to do on the battlefield, from their maneuverability to their lethality. Again, there's multiple novels where they take full like medium laser blast from a mech, whereas if that was just infantry, they would just be turned into char, also elementals. Another thing here is the suit is built to withstand and protect the Trueborn warriors even further of taking actual physical energy. Give an example. In one of the novels, an elemental is breaking through the cockpit glass of a mech. The pilot ejects. On coming back down, realizes the elemental's arm, the clamp, that claw, had reached through and grabbed right between his legs and had been sheared off. He also then discovered the elemental was very much alive, even though he was missing a complete arm. The suit had sealed the injury with what's called Hargel. It's like this thick black tar substance, and was injecting, basically narcotics and painkillers into the warrior. He didn't feel anything. It also was getting rid of flies by spraying a insecticide of something as well. These suits are so sophisticated to keep the pilot, or in this case, elemental, alive and conscious and very much awake and lethal. It then took round after round after round of shooting through the visor to finally take this thing down. So not only can they withstand small arms fire, they can withstand mech fire, and against poor bloody infantry or unarmored individuals, they're just absolutely lethal. So just think of you can see how big they are just scale wise, and their protection, their maneuverability as well with the jump packs, and of course the anti-mech weapon systems that can be applied. Now it did state here that you're going to be able to bring this, especially early on in some of the missions here, and just sort of go back down here, deploy on missions. Now, it doesn't say if you're going to be able to do this throughout the campaign. That's one thing we were speculating, is that actually you're only going to be using them in the Trials of Possession. For those that are unfamiliar with the last post and update, they told us that elementals were going to be used against Trials of Possession, against Smoke Jaguar and Jade Falcon for said battle mechs, or in this case, Omni mechs. For those that don't even know about that, let's just say I'm, in this case, Ghost Bear, and I want to challenge Smoke Jaguar to be able to use and have and collect some specific designs or equipment or technology. I can challenge that clan to a trial of possession, and if I win, we then take that, and vice versa. You can be challenged. That's sort of how the clans work, and they talked about that specifically happen with the new mechs coming, to the MechWarrior 5 Clans game. So they also mentioned too, if you didn't miss it, all the new tech that's happening here will also be a part of the base game. The one thing we don't know is, will that also apply to elementals? You didn't have them in the original, but you can bring the new mechs that are in, Ghost Bear to Jaguar campaign and so forth. We just don't know if elementals. So that'd be cool if we had some clarification there from PGI. Are you actually going to be able to use these assets on the previous game as well? So we don't know that. But overall, absolutely terrifying that, in Battletech lore, you can see here, looks like a Jade Falcon adder being engaged by your elementals as well. So we'll have to sort of see what it looks like when they talked about leaping on your mech, and maybe there's a finishing move, if you will, by ripping pilots out of the cockpit. I don't know. That would be pretty dope. And I did have confirmation from PGI that elementals will not be in the base game missions. So there you have it. Just to clarify, I didn't think so, but you never know. So there's that. But yes, these are what's referenced in the original game and the original campaign. This is what you see on some of the cinematics. This is who dies in the original deception from the pirate on your first mission. These are the elementals that go into the dropships to try to find and are ultimately killed as well. So anyways, that's coming. May 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, I'll be live here checking this out. So if you guys want to watch live and maybe just sort of see, is this for you? Join us on my stream. I stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. If you want to check that out, again, it's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll have links for both. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, which you are, you just show up here. Every single day, we have a pretty amazing community that makes this part of their day. So if you have questions about MechWarrior Online that we play almost exclusively, feel free to ask questions. Again, we'll be checking out clans. I wonder, depending on your guys' response, I may play through the campaign again to sort of get a feel for it. And then we can roll into, of course, the DLC when it launches. But let me know, are you guys excited about it? What are your thoughts? Again, seeing the elementals. This will be really the first time as far as an actual case use. I mean, we saw them in Mech 2, and then you had them in Mech 3 Ghosts, as far as yes, you had them in the DLC expansion. We didn't call them DLCs back then. You had them expansions and Mech 3. But as far as intricate gameplay, you have actually points here using in missions. This will be the first time, and of course aesthetically be to a fidelity that we haven't seen before. So there is that. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for this? Do you like the design? Do you like the aesthetic they went with? There are different classes of elementals as well, different uses. This is like the baseline model, if you will. There is other battle armor, and there's even inner sphere battle armor. That's something else is down the road, with whatever PGI does, mercs or not. I wonder if they could take this and add it to MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, which they have toyed around with a new DLC for that as well. So if any more information drops on that, I'll let you guys know. But that's it. That's your news for MechWarrior 5 Clans, coming in less than a month now, as far as the Ghost Bear DLC. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you like this video, you found it informative, click the like. Check out all the links down below. We'll see you on stream. Until next time.